everyone, I'm Nick.
I'm Vic.
And we're NB Board Gaming back with our top 100. This time we are doing 40 through 31. We're jumping right into it. We don't mess around, so let's just go. Number 40 over here for me is the Red Cathedral. Red Cathedral, another Navier game, nice small box. I'm a huge fan of that. I say that every time I bring up these type of games, that I love how portable this is and still meaty. I love the action wheel, the resource wheel. I think that's a great idea, and it's not difficult to explain. It's not convoluted. You move the dice, and then whatever's there, you get that many resources, and you can get that action in that quadrant. So, great game. We have an expansion for it. I think the expansion is just okay. I think the base game is all you really need. So, Red Cathedral, previously 51, now 40.
Cool. I have a game that you were just mentioning something similar when we got to 41, and it is The Great Wall. We haven't had a lot of opportunities to play it, but it looks so fun on the table. It's such a cool looking game. We waited a long while for the reprint to come through. I had backed it for you as a gift. I had spent euros on that thing. So I want to play it more. Yeah. I like it. I think that it has a good opportunity. If we could get Andrew and Sam or Alyssa and Tim to play with us, it would probably
go up
for me. Yeah,
I hope so. That'd be cool. All right. 39 is a new to the list game. This was my game of the year a couple years ago, and that was Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia, a worker placement type game, set collection going on. I love we have the great components, the great art, the great box, everything about it. Super cool. It's not difficult to explain except for that one when you're doing the study stuff.
Yeah. Publishing.
Yeah, that can get a little bit like, what? But I love this game. This one's sung for me the first several times we played it. If we would have did that list after we played it, it probably would be in the top 20. That's how much I was in love with it. So now it's tapered off, It's like, okay, cool it down a little bit. We're over here. We're at 39. Encyclopedia, an excellent game.
Nice pick. 39 is a game that we haven't played in a long while. It's a little complicated. It has a whole book of tricks that come with it that you can do. But I'm always intrigued by it, and I think it's a cool theme. And that's Trickerion. It's heavy. There's a lot happening with it. But it looks really cool. All the spots on the board, the choices you can make about how you're going to and I get it kind of mixed up with the Magnificent, so I don't want to talk about it too much, or I'm going to start talking about the Magnificent. I know it. But Trickerion is for sure my 39.
Yeah, you got the catalog part, right? For sure.
That I know.
All right. 38, moving on to 38. 38 is one you mentioned on the previous list. It was previously 34 for me, and you called it the analysis paralysis game. So it is 5 tribes. What can I say that you haven't just said from last video? Since it's a new video, I'll go over it again. It's Mancala, I believe they call it, where you pick up a certain area and you drop off one at each place that you're going to move to your destination, and then you're going to trigger the action in that destination. Sometimes it might be, it can be anything. There's different, and they have different colors, red and blue, that have different scoring at the end, the way you tackle those. We have the expansion that has the mountains, the Sultan, Artisans, I don't know what it's called. You have all different things you can pick here. You have these different actions that can trigger as you end your turn, that can give you a bonus, what do you call it, Jins?
Yeah.
You get that. You can get other meeples that do different things. Assassins can destroy other meeples. A lot of choices here, and you know a theme when I'm doing a list like this. Choices are going to be scale higher. Yeah. You have a lot of choices.
And there's also fakirs.
There's fakirs for sure. All right, number 38, 5 tribes.
All right, 38 is a game I'm scared I've mentioned before, but I hope not. I'm going to just go for it because I don't want to ask Nick. Coimbra.
Okay, I don't think you mentioned it.
I know that you did, and I know that Andrew...
No, I didn't.
Andrew did.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I said that I would play it with him.
Maybe I didn't mention Coimbra.
So you said it, for sure, because then I got worried about what I said.
Okay.
But anyway, doesn't matter. Coimbra, you get to put the dice into these little holders. So cute. There are choices to make about which dice, in what order you're going to end up putting your dice out. And you just hope somebody doesn't jump you and then get first dibs and then take that card that you're trying to get for whatever reason. And it seems like the combinations are infinite in the game because there's not one particular strategy that you kind of employ every single time to win. There's tracks you got to consider. the cards that may come out or may not, the dice that end up getting rolled, and the amounts that there are, traveling. I don't know. It's got it all for me, and I love dice. So Coimbra.
Coimbra's a good one. Yeah, I do think it was higher up on my list, or lower, however you want to look at it. A beautiful game, too. The colors, there's pretty vibrant out there. Okay, number 37, new to the list. This one is, I believe, Martin Wallace did this game. This is Anno 1800. I believe it was on your list previously, right? Anno?
It was not on my previous
okay.
list, yeah.
So Anno, this one, it's kind of unique in that you're building things, but your end goal isn't necessarily to stop with the things you build. You're using those things that you just built to then increase what they, because those are prerequisites that you just built. Like, oh, I need this, so let me build it. I need it. Okay, now I have it. And then I really wanted to build this thing, so I'm going to use what I just built and this can of whatever. There's so many items in this game that you could work toward.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's confusingly good. I don't know how to explain it, but when you try it, it grows on you.
Yeah.
When you realize, wow, there's a lot like chaining right now that's going on. That you're planning quite a bit ahead in this game, and you don't even really realize it because it's not complex. It's not like you just see what it needs. It shows what it needs. And it's like, okay, well, I need that. So how do I get that? And then is it worth it to get that? Like how long is this going to take to get to this? And do I just want to throw this contract away because it's too difficult for me at this point, or do I want to keep progressing toward this? A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's awesome that you can use somebody else's sausage or beans or whatever they have because you didn't go down that path, but you're never blocked from building stuff. Everybody can always build all the things. So you can't, it doesn't deplete. We're like, oh, now I can't build that, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So, but you don't want to because you're like, nah, Nick's got the glass going on. Why? I'll just
use
Nick's glass or whatever. I'm not going to use the sausage analogy every time. All right, 37 for me is the first of, I think, the 2 games that were kickstarted, and it was the OG, the one that you got for me. It's Dinosaur Island. I love it with the Totally Liquid expansion. The art is so cool on the game. It was the original game for me that felt Jurassic Parky. I was thrilled with it. I liked all the DNA dye, and I was really captivated. I thought, wow, what a nice production. So, Dinosaur Island.
Cool. All right, on to number 36. All right, 36, we got one that was previously 23. It had no right to be this high because it only had one play, but it's still hanging on, and we're waiting for this reprint, Coloma. It was already mentioned by Vic previously, and Coloma we had a lot of fun with at Randy's place, playing with Randy, and that's Randy from Legends of Nerdvana. Still waiting on this copy to come through. I believe early 2024 we're getting that. I could be wrong. We got the expansion as well for it. I can't wait to have it because I was singing its praises. We were looking up how to get a copy of this game as we were playing. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
So that's why it made it to the top 100 and why it's still there. There's still a part of me that's like, I know how good this game is. It's not going to drop too far. I can't let it get away. So it's now 36 where it was 23.
Yeah. You know why I had it on my list too. All right. 36 is the second time I will mention a Lock-It game. And this is Now or Never. We have had a lot of fun, you and I, playing this. He got the app that plays the story voices for it, so it made it even more fun because, some people are better than others at reading the story part, and it's so captivating with the sound effects and the funny characters. We've had a lot of fun playing through the campaign, I guess it is, of the game.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy the choices. I like trying to maximize it. You only can travel so much. You can only do, the characters can do different things with the crystals. It's a competitive game, so we're not, really working together. We're trying to get our storylines accomplished. It's great.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. Alrighty, we are on to 35. 35, previously 32, not much movement going on here. It's the classic Euro from Stefan Feld. It's Trajan. What can I say? It looks another one that looks really dry. You're another one that you're doing this action selection on your board, but it's unique in that it's a Mancala type thing that you're dropping just like you do in 5 Tribes, and then you trigger off where you're at. where you put that last pip or whatever you want to call those cylinders. And the actions here there are no wasted actions. Every action I enjoy. I enjoy every single one in this game. Whereas some games have that suffering, like the work action you already mentioned for Newton. We always refer to that one as the one that suffers. This one, I feel like every action is pretty good. And the way you're it's a point salad. So you're going to get a lot of points in this game. Your actions are going to give you a lot of points, and just a matter of which action you want to take the most of, where you're going to go to get your most points. There's some risk negating here with the goods and stuff. You're trying to make sure you have the goods to appease at the end of the round and all that. And a lot of fun. Trajan.
All right. 35 for me is a cheap game. It's a game that is not expensive, under $20, I think. And it is a sleeper. Nobody really talks about it. It is Ganymede. So fun to move the meeples, make choices about the ones you're going to take on to add, and then how you move the meeple from planet to hopefully get all the way over, and then you can score points, and it goes by really quick with the two of us. Just seems like a speedy game, and it's never talked about by anyone, so I like it. Ganymede.
Ganymede's awesome. All right, 34, new to the list. We could have been on the previous list. We were just learning it though. A Feast for Odin, a game Vic already mentioned, a worker placement game with a ton of options. There are a boatload, especially if you add the Norwegians expansion, where we're talking the worker placement spots in the 60s or 70s, maybe even. So you have a ton of choices. You have at least 4 or 5 in every single row. So. Yeah. And there's some things that are polyomino type things going on the board. You're trying to spend food for different things. You're trying to transfer different things. A lot of trading, trading up to get different things and spending them different ways. So another game that I stress choices, and this is a game full of it.
Mm-hmm. All right. 34 is a game that I think you ranked quite highly. It's a game that sells area control for me, because it makes it fun, and it's Inis. It doesn't feel so bad to get kicked out of a spot. You don't feel like, I bought all these soldiers and now they just got wrecked. It doesn't feel that way. And I like the interesting choices, different paths to victory. So when you have the cards, you can be winning and people don't know it. They don't know that you're sneaking up on with different conditions, so I like it.
Yeah, then you have to proclaim it on a turn, and they get one last chance.
Yeah.
That's one of the most gratifying games to win. Mm-hmm. Okay, good pick. Gorgeous, by the way. It's gorgeous. 33 for me is a worker placement game. It has a lot of card-driven actions in this one. It's a cute game. It's one you've mentioned. It was previously 25. It is Everdell. Everdell, we just have a couple expansions, so we don't have all the new stuff like Andrew and Sam. They've done an unboxing and review for the complete Everdell collection.
Yeah, has a room in their house.
Yes, that one is huge. And we just have Spirecrest and Belfair, which we really enjoy. I don't think it needs anything more for us personally. Everdell, to me, is not a gateway game. I think there is quite a bit going on. It's not one I would bring out for people that aren't really gamers. I would say this would be a gateway plus, maybe. Like, okay, they got this. Maybe I can try to get them to get Everdell. It's kind of on the same, maybe a little bit more than Wingspan. Just a little bit more to it than Wingspan, I think. But a lot of fun. Really cute. It's one that if people do have some experience gaming, it would be easy pick to bring out for a 4-player game, couples night or whatever it is. And that's Everdell.
All right, 33 is a game that is pretty complicated. I thought it was an obscure theme, but then somebody commented and said it wasn't obscure at all and that I need to give my head a shake.
You stupid.
Yeah, and that's Golem. Wow, it's neat. It's got a really creepy cover, and you just want to get your golem along, but you have to rein it in because it's going to be moving out of control. You're making really interesting choices, as I've said all throughout this top 100, and I have so much fun with it. And when Nick and I play, we've got to a point where we are pretty quick with getting through the game. So
We have a review up if you want to learn more about that game, because it is not easy to explain, but in a gist, you're doing action selection, but you're picking out the marbles, and that in itself is unique. You're doing action selection with marbles there, and where you select what row you select is what actions you get. Yeah, I enjoy that game thoroughly, so Golem is a great pick. 32, it was previously 16, half. It was half of what it was. So this one, I'm surprised it went down a little bit. I don't know why. I really don't. Other than we don't play it too much, but that's goes for a lot of games because we own so many. This just happened to go down. How it worked out at the end. This one is Vindication. Vindication 32. We have expansions for it. I think what hurts it, if I had to take a guess, is we have a lot of content that we don't use. When you see all this content that we actually have and all the tiles, some of it's more interesting than others, and it makes you kind of like, we're going to play, because we don't play it so much, that we're going to play what we know and then maybe add one or two different things, and it could be good, it could be like boring, or we don't use it, or whatever it might be. But in the end, the game itself is a lot of fun. I always try to get the saddle.
Too.
No, I get vindicated pretty quick, but the saddle, I try to increase my saddle pretty quick so I can move around a lot faster, and that gives you points too. This game has a lot of different end game triggers that will be revealed as you go. A lot of cards, which is awesome that you're going to be able to pick from. Huge stacks of cards, so the game will, in fact, change, even if the board necessarily didn't change that much as far as the actions go. You will have different things that you can do, and your character is going to be totally different than your opponent's character, especially when you activate different cards that do different things on your turn. This game is probably, if we did a list of unique games, this would probably make a top 10 for me. The unique games are actually good. Vindication, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that if you have a small collection, because of all the capabilities, if you're going to be playing that one a lot with all the expansions that, I often neglect. I don't really mess with the pet menagerie too much. I don't mess with, you name it. I don't want to list them off, but there's a lot of things that I just don't do when we're playing that game, I find. But if it was the only game we played or the one of 15 games we owned, I'm sure that we would be going into all kinds of modules.
Yeah.
And it's so pretty. The components are great. Yeah, it's a cool game. All right. 32 for me is a game that will probably get closer to my top 15 or top 20 once we get it another version of it. And that is La Granja. Because you're getting it, right? Or did you already get it? No, this is embarrassing.
So when we originally reviewed it, we had an old copy.
Yeah.
We've been playing the new copy.
That's what it is.
La Granja?
Yeah. All right, so we have that.
Yeah.
So it did it before. I don't think it was even on my list before, but I could see it getting better. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if it's on your list.
Yeah, I'm not sure because it didn't look that impressive, but I have had a lot of fun playing it with you now that we have the new one, and I had to put it at 32. I like that you can make a choice about the cards. They work 4 ways. I always run into something new when I'm going through the cards, and what am I going to do with this one? I like that.
That's what really, really does it for me. The multi-use cards. Because I want this for this, but I want it for this too. And that one is a really good game because of those multi-use cards. I think it does it so well. All right, 31 for me was previously 24. And Vic has mentioned it already on this 10. Is one of her favorite games. I thought it would be even higher. Dinosaur Island. Dinosaur Island with the Totally Liquid expansion that she mentioned. A great game. Very procedural as well, where you're going step by step. The DNA, the specialist, you're doing all these things in order. But it's laid out so nicely on the table. It's not a terribly difficult teach either, considering how it looks. It looks like it's a monster to teach. With the DNA and the splicing, you're like, oh, what's going on? But no, it's really not. You're getting these different dinosaurs by virtue of these different DNA. You're getting the specialists. You're getting all kinds of goodies, and it looks cool. It looks retro-ish, like on the table. It kind of looks retro-ish, especially the Totally Liquid, the box itself. A lot of neon in that thing, and a great game.
Yeah. I really like building out your amusement park and then that hooligan moment and having to pull those guys out of the bag. I know you've had, mixed experiences with that, but it's fun. All right. So this is the last one.
World.
No, it's hooligans are in Ireland.
Oh, they're in both?
Yeah.
Okay.
You drop out of the bag. No, I know.
Okay.
because I remember that
Okay.
day. Yeah. Okay. So this is the last one, right?
Yep.
All right. You've said it in this
Wow,
list,
another
I
one.
think, or I really hope it wasn't the last one because we just did 2 videos. But it's Lorenzo Il Magnifico. Everything that you said in the last video about the limits of the game, but then you could, depending on what you can accomplish or trigger off, or the time that you decide to take something ahead of someone else getting there, you can do some pretty sweet things. And I have used the expansion, so that's always a good sign when you've brought in an expansion that I've actually made use of, because sometimes I can just be tunnel vision and stick with the original.
That one's easy to use, though.
Yeah.
It's just another tower.
Another tower, because you need it, because you don't want to pay someone. But it's fun. It's so cool, and I like the colors of the game. Although it could be, dry or Euro, it's got colors to it with the yellow and the green and the blue and the purple cards. And I try different ways to win all the time. So I like Lorenzo.
Il Magnifico.
Mhm.
Good pick. A lot of good picks.
Yeah. While we continue counting down the top 100, Andrew and Sam are also doing the same, and we hope you are as well, letting us know in the comments how you're ranking your top 100 games of 2023.
Yes. See ya.
Bye!